It finally happened. So let's begin with the unboxing experience, which is pretty boring. There's nothing really new. I mean, it's a simple, a box, some documents, booklets, cables. Nothing in particular that would catch your eye or something. So we have here your electric plug, your charger, which is exactly the same charger that I had with the 70D. So I'm not going to use that. I'm using a different charger anyways. That's why it stayed here. We have a cable USB-C to USB-C and some sort of adapter that I didn't really understand until now. It sort of catches the cables if you connect some HDMI or something like an external screen, and this will pretty much assist you not break them or something. HDMI can break and everything, so I guess that's why it is. And if we pull this, that's where the camera was. We have here just the cap of the sensor and everything, and we have here the strap, the regular Canon strap with EOS R5. Nothing really special again, as I said, pretty simple as usual, and I guess that's enough for us. That's not what we came here. We want to see the R5, so let's close it. One thing that is different that I must mention is actually the battery. The battery is new. This is the battery, and if we look closely, I don't think that we'll see anything different except this sort of sticker here. And this battery is a bigger capacity than the usual. It's an LPE6NH. It will fit, for example, the 70D or something. There's no issue with that. So this thing is 2130 milliampere hour. And the older ones, I think 1800 or 600, I don't really remember. And that's a battery. But we are here for the Canon EOS R5. So this is the R5, and if we look closely, it's pretty much the same as the 70D, but a little bit different. First of all, it's a mirrorless camera, which means that it doesn't have a mirror. And actually, that thing I want to show you. I can show you. So we'll take up the lens, and if we look here closely, you'll see that there is no mirror inside, and that's pretty much the difference. There is no mirror, this is just the shutter, and you don't see the sensor because the shutter is closed, but that's how it is. There is no mirror, which means that when you want to see at the viewfinder, when the camera is closed, you'll see nothing. You'll need to turn it on. So we also have here, while we are here, the adapter. So this camera has a new mount. It's different a little bit here, and now you can see the sensor part a little bit better, and as you can see, it's not a sensor, it's the shutter there, but that's how it is. There is an adapter here, which means that if you want to use older lenses like this one, you do need the adapter. And the adapter is, this one is by Canon, it's the original one, and this one has a custom ring, which means that you can configure it for ISO, for example, for your aperture, or for pretty much anything you want. And that's quite convenient. You can use any lens, any electronical lens, better said, and still use that custom ring feature that pretty much comes with almost any new RF lens. So that's quite convenient. Now, this camera, a little bit different from the 70D that I'm using right now. This one has a full frame sensor, and this one is an APS-C. Now, I cannot exactly show you in real life. I'll add something in post that you'll be able to see, but pretty much the sensors that we have on our phones, for example, are very little, and as you can see, that's pretty much the lens and everything, and the sensor is pretty much this size. That's it. It's nothing. And this means that whatever light source that you have, there is only a little fraction that will go in your sensor, which means less details. And that means that even if your phone can shoot 8K, for example, it still has much less details than a camera like this one can have, because the sensor is much bigger. Actually, if we'll try to compare it, I guess the sensor will be something like this. The sensor itself, I'm not talking about the lens, obviously. And this means more light, more details, and better quality, obviously. So even though that your phone can shoot 8K sometimes, it doesn't mean it will get any close to that thing. Obviously, your phone has what's called computational photography, additional software, smart software. Obviously, it will make it better, but it's still not the same. Now, an APS-C like the 70D has is somewhat smaller, about 1.6 smaller than the full frame. So the 70D catches light, but this one will catch more light. And another thing, basically if I'm shooting something, for example now if I would shoot the R5 with the 70D, that's what you see, that's the frame with the 24mm lens that I'm having now. If I would shoot with a full frame, for example with another R5, obviously I don't have one, but in the same distance with same 24mm lens, obviously in full frame and not APS-C, you'll see more details. I mean, the frame will be wider, you'll see more things around that you cannot see, and more light will enter, so I could use a little bit better settings, for example, with less light, and you'll see still the same details. Obviously the quality here is totally different. Now, as I said, that's a mirrorless camera and it has a totally different technology here. Better processor, obviously, it has much more capabilities, newer functions. Autofocus here is amazing. If we're talking about autofocus, you can point it and, for example, animals, or set it for people. You can actually switch between them, and basically it will focus. And I will add a picture that I shot a few days ago of a cat that was sitting in a window about 15 meters from me, I guess, or maybe a little bit more. I shot it with Canon EF 100-400 second version that I have, and with this camera, and it actually didn't catch the cat as the autofocus point. It caught the eye of the cat, and it looks really amazing. I did crop one of those photos that I took, and you can see all the details that clear, like the cat was, I don't know, standing right in front of me without any specific lens, without any specific things, like it was right in front of me. The quality is amazing. But it can do the same with people. If you're shooting people, it will catch their eyes and everything, so that's quite amazing. The autofocus is very fast, much faster than you can achieve with a 70D. Not because it makes the focus faster on your lens, obviously it still depends on the motors and everything on your lens, but it will find what to focus on much faster and much better. That's the idea. And it will obviously control the lens better as well. For example, if you have an RF lens, it will actually communicate with the lens better, and it will have more traffic between them to actually do a better job. Anyways, this camera also has a totally different sensor in terms of megapixels. It's a 45 megapixels. Now, I know, some of you will say again that your phone has more megapixels here, but again, with this tiny sensor, it means that every pixel is smaller. Less light, less quality, less everything, I'd say, especially in low light. Your phone, if it has higher megapixels, it will be worse at low light. Remember this fact actually, because yeah, software will give you better quality and everything, but it still won't be the same. So anyways, I want to show you a little bit the menu here, just a little bit, and I want to tell you that the menu here is quite the same as it was on the 70D on one hand, but it's still different. So you know what, let's do it like this, it will be probably more comfortable for me. So you can see already some details, and I'm actually on video mode. Let's go to photo mode and hit menu. So you can see that the menus are a little bit different. First of all, before I forget, we have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth now, and it's easier to connect actually. It still uses the same, not always that fun application on your phone, but it works much better and it connects much faster, and you can switch between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Bluetooth, for example, will allow you all the GPS details from your phone, so it will attach to each photo that you take while your phone communicates with the camera. It will attach the GPS details. It will also be able to act as a remote. There's a specific mode on your application on the phone that will give you a remote. It will look like a simple remote, very convenient. So we have here so many things that I want to even be able to tell you everything, because even I didn't actually play with everything to know all what's here. Remember the autofocus that I talked? Here it is. You can switch between animals and people here, or no priority as well. You can use the eye detection or not. Continuous autofocus. Oh, that's what I was searching. Oh, now I found something that I was actually searching for. Here it is. There's something that is called touch and drag. And this is when you view everything from the viewfinder, and as you can see I moved here close to the sensor and you don't see the screen because you can see it right now in the viewfinder. It's a little bit hard to show it on the camera, but yeah. And that's pretty much allows you to actually choose a area in your screen, and while you're looking at the viewfinder you can actually drag the focus point with your finger. That's really convenient when the screen is next to your eyes and everything, so that's awesome. So another thing that I want to show physically actually is the two cards. So you probably remember that I did a video about the new card reader and two new cards. So let's open it up, and we have here the SD card that I showed you, which is good and fast, but we also have a faster one, and that's the CF Express. Now you can shoot photos to both of the cards at the same time. You can shoot RAW photos to one of them and the JPEG to the other one. You can also shoot sort of automatically. It will automatically switch between them. I didn't try it, I didn't understand yet how that will work. And in terms of video, it will shoot pretty much all the things to the SD without problems, except for I think 120 frames per second. The 4K supports here 120 frames per second, and 8K it will not shoot, I guess, RAW and all I to the SD card, only to the CF Express. That's why you do need CF Express for those formats if you are going to use them. And that brings us to the next thing, that it does have 8K, and that's full sensor 8K. No crop or something. I guess there's a little bit amount of crop because there's something called IBIS here, and that's another important thing here. So basically you know that on many lenses like this one you have image stabilization, and pretty much even if you use here a lens without image stabilization, it will still stabilize it because the sensor can move and actually compensate for your moving. IBIS is basically internal body image stabilization. So basically it's an internal image stabilization, and it works flawlessly, especially when you have an RF lens. They will again communicate between each other and will actually improve the image stabilization of both of them to levels that are pretty much amazing. And actually I was shooting 8K just for a test, for a first test. I was shooting myself and the hand holding the camera. It was really heavy and my hand was shaky, and I thought to myself, wow, that lens that I'm using right now, it was a 50mm Nifty 50 EF. I said to myself, oh wow, that has a great image stabilization actually. And then I realized it doesn't have any image stabilization. All the image stabilization was done on the IBIS. That was amazing. Now I do want to address the elephant in the room. So 8K is possible here, and people have been talking enough, I guess. Basically, whenever you want to shoot 8K, it will overheat after some time. And yeah, so we have here 8K, as you can see. We can see even RAW here if we want. And yeah, that's an amazing thing that we have 8K, but the camera overheats, and it didn't happen to me yet. I didn't play enough with 8K or those capabilities yet to see this. Again, it will overheat, I'm pretty sure, especially in Israel where I live. It's hot, it gets really hot, and it will overheat, I'm pretty sure. But again, I didn't get this camera to shoot all the time 8K. I would shoot 8K sometimes for short videos that I know that I want to crop in without losing any details, and that's the important thing. I'm not going to upload to YouTube right now some 8K footage or something. I did actually a test, but that was just for one test, one time. And I might shoot an 8K just for the crop in without losing details. So instead of, you know, moving the camera to show you something closer, I could just crop in and you'll still see the same quality because it's in 4K anyways, and I wouldn't lose any details. And as you can see, it just turned off, went to sleep. Let's turn that off for now. So that's quite an amazing thing here. So now what you see on the screen is basically a photo taken on the 70D with the 35mm Tamron, and basically that's how those specific settings would look now on the 70D with that lens. Now I'm going to switch to next photo, which is the same one pretty much, but this one was taken with the same lens, with same settings, but on the R5, and you can see the difference. And if we zoom in 10 times, you'll see that there are differences in details as well, and that's in terms of photos, just to show you a little bit how it goes. And let's pretty much show you just something short with video. Obviously the 70D video, the 1080p is overscaled to the 4K pretty much that I'm uploading to YouTube, so that's what it is with 1080p. And now pretty much the same video with almost the same settings on 8K, and this one is actually downscaled, and now on the R5 that's what you can get. So yeah, you can see the difference now. Before we finish this, I'm now shooting with the GoPro, and that's because I want to show you the weight of both of the cameras. So this is the 70D, note that it's with both of the hooks, and this is 698 grams without a battery and without an SD card. Let's add an SD card and a battery and see how it changes. Keep in mind that I'm going to add the same battery and the same SD card to both of the cameras in order to show you exactly the idea here. And now it's 775 grams. And that's pretty much how I will go to shoot. And obviously I'll add a lens or something, but that's it. So let's go to the R5. This is the R5 currently without battery and without SD cards or any cards, and it's 668 grams. Now let's add everything, because we are not going to shoot like this obviously. Let's first add only the SD card and the same battery that I've put in the 70D. And now it's 744 grams. But that's not it. We can also put our CF Express. And now we are at 751 grams. But honestly, that's not it. We still need an adapter for EF lenses if we're going to use EF lenses like I do. So that means that let's just put it on. 877 grams. So yeah, you do get some weight gain, but that's not too much. I mean, about 100 and something grams, and you get a lot of more things here. I guess that still counts as good idea. Thank you for watching this Dinos Tech episode. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you won't miss any future video. And I'll see you on the next one.